I'm bored. What plaything can you offer me today?
An obscure channel on YouTube the inhabitants call Graphic Man.
How peaceful it looks.
Most effective, Your Majesty. Will you destroy this Graphic Man?
Later. I like to play with things a while before annihilation.
Graphic Man, he likes to draw stuff. Graphic Man, he's reading comic books.
Do you know how close he came to being activated this week?
None other than
Graphic Man, he streams on Wednesdays. He finds comics for us, does it with no fuss. He draws with a shaky hand, Bronze Age, Silver Age, Golden Age, he's Graphic Man. Graphic Man, he's just a guy from Missouri, and I'll never stop drawing till his eyes get blurry. Please, someone stop him, I'll never stop drawing. Thought it was a metaphor, but you just never stop it. Please, someone help him, it's been 36 hours. You have to stop drawing. Please stop drawing. Graphic Man, won't you think of me now? Please stop drawing. Please stop drawing. I'm staging an intervention.
Just keep drawing. How much paper do you have? How much paper is there? How much paper did you start cutting down the forest?
Good Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully all you're doing well. We have the fossils with us tonight. It's the happiest day of the week. Look at all those cheerful faces. I see we've sent Grottu down to find Jambo. Those are some very handsome. One guy looks like a nerd, though, looking at some book.
I'll be a while. I'll get back to you.
Yeah. And looks like Spinnerack has found Jambo. We sent Grottu down to find him. And that's our image for tonight. Here's our cast. Grottu is got a stand-in dummy waiting to hold his spot while he goes and takes care of a few things. We're joined by Dr. Silver Age, Charlton 66, Eric Breen, and our great foreign correspondent, Paulo. It's good to see you guys. We have some people in the chat. Looks like Jackson has identified Jambo from the picture. And hey, here, Grottu joined us now. Cool. Michael's with us. And Lead Paint. And Werewolf. All right.
Direct from Australia.
And Fireball. And more will join us. We might be joined by Spinnerack a little bit later on. But I thought I'd go first, as usual. But all of a sudden, I'm having trouble Getting things to disappear properly. There we go. Okay. So right off the bat, wanted to show you guys a little. These are from the 70s. Andy Capp. I don't know if you guys even remember this guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good old handicap.
Yeah.
Not exactly
Surprised.
husband of the year. He's got a very long-suffering wife, but yeah, I wouldn't make him a role model. But that ought to bring back some memories for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Then I got this really cool Conan, Savage Sword of Conan.
Nice.
Check out that ugly monster.
Very cool.
It's like it was painted on a van.
Yeah, it's got this great back illustration here. In fact, I have a pretty good image of that. I'll go ahead and show it to you. Now, when I saw that, it reminded me of something. Does it remind you guys of anything?
No.
Think of
Remember
Jack
Great God?
Kirby.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it is.
Oh, look at that.
Even the stance and the hand. And,
Wow.
yeah.
Holy
Not that
smokes.
that's bad or anything. I just
Right.
it's an
Good eye.
interesting
Good catch.
homage, if you will.
Good catch.
Inside that book has a Ernie Chan portfolio.
Ooh.
So each image take about 4 seconds here, and just think he inked all this. The great Ernie Chan. Aren't you glad that Vince Coletto wasn't given the inking job? He would have erased half of this. I had a little fun with this image, making them fall there for a second.
Wow.
All these mice and rats.
Yeah, man. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Wow.
So that was a pretty good Savage Sword of Conan to get your hands on. Here's another one. There's some real creepy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got the bottom's creepy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I have an image of him.
Mayor of Chicago there.
Yeah. Here he is.
Wow.
And get a load of his hand.
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
So that was pretty well. We'll do a little Superman action from Bronze Age. Speaking of
Nice.
hands,
I've never seen that cover.
the man that murdered Metropolis. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it is.
And here's the son of Tomahawk.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Kind of obscure. I don't really see many of those. And just briefly, we'll do some Combat Kelly. Good Severin artwork
Oh yeah.
as soon as it focuses.
Big breakout.
Nice.
Is there any artist in comics today that's instantly recognizable like some of these guys from back then?
Maybe to a modern reader, but I wouldn't know
Yeah.
what those were. Two more
Alec
after
Ross
this.
is about the only one I can think of.
Yeah.
I think the lady in the cover you just showed was answering that question. She said, that's just it. There isn't any.
There isn't any. Number 8. I think it lasted 9 issues.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as cool as Nick Fury, but not too bad.
This is still a fun read.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any of the 1950s. I'd love to get my hands on those. So
Yeah, but they have nothing to do with each other. It's just they just use the trademark.
okay.
And this one was the second attempt at doing a Sergeant Fury spin-off. The first one was Captain Savage, That one lasted for a bit longer. I think Combat Cali came out too late. It was already 71. In fact, that's why you know it's 71, because it has that box on the cover, which Gil Kane came up with to celebrate Marvel's 10th anniversary. But it's not something that that most people know. Yeah.
Was there nothing that man couldn't do?
He couldn't do that Ernie Chan stuff we just saw. That's for sure.
No.
No, please.
All right. How about we go to Dr. Silver Age?
All righty. Well, we're going to go all over the place with this first fact. So we're going to start off a little ROM, Space Knight.
Yeah. That's cool.
I'd love to find one of their toys, but boy, when you find them, they're expensive. But and we got a little Wonder Woman guest starring in Lois Lane here, 136.
That's really cool.
And we got to have some monster action with Frankenstein monster, Dracula.
Great story.
Mm-hmm.
And a little Justice Society.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Little Joseph.
And another, we got Werewolf by Night. I can remember buying that one right off the rack.
That's a great cover.
Yeah, I love that cover. And we got little Western. Yeah, so we got Giant Size Kid Colt and Knight Rider. Or used to be called
That's a
Ghost
cool
Rider.
book. Yeah, that's a cool book.
That's not bad art.
Up the nose. Up the... Oh, Kid Colt, 121. And he's got the two kids meet.
Oh, that's a
Rawhide Kid.
Hey.
Crossovers between the different Western characters were very, very rare.
Yeah.
I think at that time there were only 3 or 4.
Yeah, you are correct. We got Dell with Superheroes, number 4.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
You don't see these around too much anywhere.
Yeah, I imagine that those things aren't very well known, but I imagine who has them doesn't want to part with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
Yep. We got some Gold Key. We got one of my favorite shows from the 60s. Time Tunnel.
Copy.
That is great. That is really great.
Time Tunnel.
Any Stegosaurus cover is awesome.
And then the second issue of Time Tunnel.
I meant Triceratops. Cool. I got them mixed up. Yeah, that's cool too.
And we're going to throw in some Thunder Agents here with number 13.
Yes. Nice.
Yeah. Gotta love the Thunder Agents. And then Thunder Agents number 16. The nice flashy red cover.
Mm-hmm.
Kaboom. And sticking with back to Gold Key, got a Doc Savage.
Yes. The 1,000-headed man.
Yeah.
That's the story is from.
And we got Captain Marvel. What I like is they got a Plastic Man story in there. Never heard of the Captain Marvel character before, but they got Plastic Man in there. And then let's see, we got 2 more here. We got Master of Mystery, the Spirit from Super Comics.
Wow.
Cool.
Super Comics, so they're illegal reprints.
The balky buzzer.
Don't tell anybody I got this. And finish it off, another Gold Key with one of my all-time favorite shows, The Twilight Zone.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Very good.
Nice.
Love that series. Every year they put on a marathon. I forgot what channel it does, but man, I got to watch it. My wife goes, "You've seen all them. You've got them all on DVD. Why do you
You gotta do it again, yeah, man.
Because all I got to do is sit here."
Yeah.
Oh, fun stuff. Fun stuff.
The TV viewing I do, I'm bombarded with commercials telling me about Medicare and how I need to call this number, and oh my goodness.
By Jimmy Walker, right?
Yes, that's the worst one. So
Dynamite.
Yeah, he throws that in too. Well, Grottu, you about ready to go?
Sure. Did you talk about the last week's episode and how many views it had?
Yeah, but I didn't. I talked to them before we went on. I didn't know if I should bring too much attention to that, but I'll go ahead and say it. I don't believe in jinxes, but ladies and gentlemen, if you were one of the many 900 people that watched the last episode, we appreciate it very much.
Yeah, man.
We hope that's not a glitch, and I hope that's a sign of things to come. So thank you very much, all.
That's awesome.
We did kill off Jambo. It says it's right on the cover. That might have something to do with it.
We went looking for him, and
just like Star Trek 3, now we're searching for him.
Apparently, Interact has found him. So all right, yeah, Grottu, we'll go to you now.
Well, I was going through a box just now of these old sleazy eerie publications.
Wow, look at that. Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
So,
Nice one, Grottu.
This is October 1967. But this one has a Jungle Girl story that looks like it's, I guess in the 60s they printed some 50 stories without altering them that much, but by the time the 70s came along, they would pretty much trace them, or they would just draw in a lot of blood that wasn't originally there. Let's see. I know I got to get these bagged and boarded. Here's Tales of Voodoo from September of '74.
I've never heard of that.
I never saw these on newsstands. There would be some kid at school that found one at some sleazy convenience store in San Antonio. They called them ice houses. I think it's kind of a unusual thing.
Does that say who drew the cover? Who painted the cover?
Yeah. It seems like I see two signatures down there. No, that's the distributor, Mark. I think Novell.
Okay.
So,
I think a lot of those were cut and pastes.
Yeah, there's a bunch of there's a handful of books about eerie publications, and maybe one of
the art style kind of reminds me of the guy who did the Mexican Spider-Man, where he married where Peter married Gwen Stacy because she didn't die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wish I could find those. These are like books about how to, finish high school or trade schools. But they put this, hey, gang, have fun and make money with our free literature. This guy with his eyeball hanging out. That's really hilarious. And of course, you can learn karate because it was 1974.
Meyer in the audience. Good to see you, Meyer.
But yeah, I don't know. Does Guadalajara reprint all of these?
Well, I don't know about that. I have a weird, but not the voodoo one.
Yeah, this is another Tales of Voodoo.
Wow.
It's like if Dolly Parton was a vampire, it's kind of hard to get through to the heart. Got a lot of. Oh, never mind. There's a Great West. What I was trying to say is these magazines were not well distributed, and when they were distributed, it was in the sleaziest stores, and some kid would find it, and then they'd be the hit of the playground for a few days. it's like those Jack Chick tracts. There was a kid that his church gave out Jack Chick tracts, and then he would sell them to kids on the playground for $0.25 each, except for one about exorcism. He says, "I can't sell this to you; it's too horrible." But because they were kind of like the religious equivalent of this, because they were scary looking, black and white, cool art, and a little bit bloody and scary, and but anyway, yeah, those Jack Chick tracks were anyway. So, and this one had a very short life before I'm sure they got a cease and desist letter. They just went and called it Tales from the Crypt. So,
We're dead.
It's these were spectacular. Kevin Strangelove.
What's up, Hans?
Hey, Hans.
How you doing, guys?
Hans.
All kinds of stuff. Let's see. And then there's Tales from the Tomb. I think maybe they changed it from Crypt to Tomb, and
That's a cool.
they were told, "Hey, we still own that name, and we're making movies out of it." Actually, that Tales from the Crypt is from maybe before the Amicus, July '68. So that's 4 years before that movie came out.
Grottu, I don't know if you can read Michael's comment there. He bought a voodoo from Giant Foods.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of supermarket would carry? I mean, this stuff is like, but I don't know. You think of a simpler, more wholesome time and Ward and June Cleaver, but then
I was buying those at National Food Stores.
But you look at like the old National Enquirers, and they were horrifying with the images on the covers, blood, and I remember what the National Enquirer was like in the 70s because my mother would buy it, and then I got a Mad Magazine parody that was reprinted from the 60s, where it was a parody of what the National Enquirer was like, and it was just unbelievably salacious and gory, and that's the way National Enquirer had been in the 60s. And I'm just thinking, I can't imagine a supermarket where they have this there, and then they also have those tabloids and how they were back then. Now they're far more respectable. In fact, National Enquirer has better reporting and more honest reporting than most of the media now, ironically. There's another Tales of Voodoo.
Cool.
Oh, that's an insert picture. Very awkwardly done. Because I was thinking, what is this white? I thought maybe that was a tear in the paper or like a tape pole. So it kind of looks like a tape pole from a distance. Yeah. But then you see, oh, it's just a picture they put there where it.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have the production design that like James Warren had, but it's just so sleazy. It just feels like you got to wash your hands after you read it.
And Michael says that Tales of the Crypt changed to Tales of Voodoo, if I'm reading that right.
Oh, okay. Probably, yeah.
This artist is great.
Yeah, I love
it. Then they. This is March of '71. This is more of a science fiction cover.
Wow.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
I love the sleazy stuff.
Yeah, I got a whole box of these things. Here's Ghost Castles and Victims, Tales of Gothic Horror.
Oh, that's cool.
Goodness.
Yeah. Especially when you could blow it up to that size.
Yeah.
It's a tiny image, but
that's right.
StreamYard lets you make it as big as your widescreen TV. I don't know. I'm probably going on too long. Of course, this is one of the most spectacular covers ever in Mr. World. I'll show one more. Let's see what I can do. I always love this cover from the Marvel Famous Monsters imitation.
Oh, that's cool.
Just like the detail in that painting. And let's see. Of course, the thing about Warren magazines is they had all the cool ads in the back that were, to me, the highlight of the magazine. But Marvel didn't have quite the... Well, they sold the Night Gallery paintings. Did any of you ever get Night Gallery paintings?
No, I was too scared.
Yeah,
I was too terrified of those paintings.
I got the poster print with all the paintings on it, but I don't have the original paintings. No.
And then there's Stan Lee trying to sell Crazy, their new humor magazine.
Yeah.
When Crazy first started, it was like somewhere between Mad and National Lampoon. For the first few issues, it was a little more adult, and they had but then it just became like sick by the time it had continued on. But yeah, this actually has some comics in it too, and you know, which looks like it's the Frankenstein monster from the Marvel comics. But anyway, so they'd have a little bit of comics in there too. But anyway, I'm just surrounded by monster magazines right now. So anyway.
Cool. Hey, while Paulo sets up a thing for me in the background, I want to talk to Captain Strangelike. I saw your video with your friend. Is it Time Travel Comics? I don't know what the name is.
Leo.
I'd just like to give a little plug to people watching. Check out Time Travel Comics sometimes. Pretty good. He had a really good video the other day, and people ought to go see that. So
Yeah, he's a great guy. Great guy.
All right, what do you got for us, Paulo?
Well,
hey, Paulo. Yeah, I think you were right about the pronunciation of Busima's name. It is Busima.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember seeing hearing an interview with him, and he was explaining it. Of course, it's not how the name would have been pronounced in Italy, but sometimes the pronunciation doesn't carry over. So a few months ago, I showed volume 1 of this magazine, CIMAC. It had a bunch of British and French comics drawn by Spanish artists. That version only lasted for 10 issues, but then they brought it back, sort of the Spanish version of Heavy Metal magazine. And lately, I've been thinking about the guy who did most of the covers for the first years. His name was Vicente Segrelles. He was very good at doing oil paintings, and he was lucky that he quit doing commercial art in order to work exclusively on comics, which is not something that they're usually able to do. But CIMAC restarted in 1980, and this is edition number 1. They bought this cover. They don't even know who the artist was, although it's kind of referencing a barbarian story that doesn't exist. But it does advertise some of the art strips that were run inside the magazine. Hombre by Jose Ortiz, The Mercenary by Vicente Segrelles, and even Delirious, a series by Drouillet, who was the founder of Heavy Metal magazine.
Both of those guys could use a jacket.
Mm-hmm.
CIMAC is comic spelled backwards.
Yes, and and the editor knew it. It was supposed to be that was the joke. The editor was the guy who provided art for a bunch of Warren magazines during the late 70s and throughout the entirety of the 80s. The studio called the Selecciones Ilustradas actually packaged all of the art for the magazines 1984 and Comics International, which were published by Warren magazines. So issue number 2 here. This is an actual Segrelles cover with The Mercenary. Segrelles is being republished in Portugal right now. This was one of our favorite European series from the 90s. And he comes from a very accomplished artistic family. His cousin Eustáquio Segrelles also drew comics. He even had a strip about about Dan Turpin in some Spanish magazines, and of course their uncle José Segrelles, one of the most famous Spanish painters of the 20th century, whose name has been given to a museum in the Spanish city of Valencia. So this is a family of artists, and just the fact that they decided to work on comics is amazing, because if you can make it as an artist in the United States, you don't go into comics. Issue number 3, once again, Segrelles, they were gonna milk this guy for all he was worth. But down there it says they're launching the first few pages of the Frank Capra series about a war correspondent, one of my favorite Spanish comics from the 80s. More Segrelles. But this was the good thing. The series, The Mercenary, it existed in fantasy Middle Ages. There were a lot of references to the social political situation in the Iberian Peninsula around the year 1000, because that's when the Moors had occupied Spain, and there was the Reconquista that was done from northern Spain to the south. There were a lot of visuals that kind of resemble some places in Spain, but there are dragons, there are flying machines that could not possibly exist in the Middle Ages, magicians, and so this marriage between history and fantasy in the best tradition of Robert E. Howard, but here told exclusively in comic book form by an artist. This was an artist-centered series. He wrote his own comics, but what he actually loved to do was paint. Everything was painted. All of this entire series was painted, and these dragons were certainly the best way that they had to call on the audience. Issue number 5, finally, different cover. Frank Capra by Manfred Sommer. In spite of his German name, he was from Barcelona. And he was heavily inspired by Hugo Pratt, the Italian artist who created Corto Maltese. The advertising on the bottom of the cover shows Segrelles in color. Most of the other strips are in black and white. Frank Capra was in black and white. They also have mentioned here Milazzo, so they were running some Italian adventure in Western strips in here as well. Issue number 6, more dragons, more Segrelles, more mercenaries. This is good, but they're launching Alvar Mayor, a strip by Argentinians Carlos Trillo and Enrique Breccia. Volume 7. This one has a cover by Tim White. Yeah, I think this one is by Tim White. So it was a commission cover. It doesn't have anything to do with any stories inside, but it's calling out. No. This one is a Drouillet cover, and it's about the Lone Sloan science fiction comic. Yeah, and this was beginning to be a success because it says that it has 16 extra pages. And too bad Howler Mouse isn't here, because he would look at this cover and he would instantly recognize this artist, Frenchman Jacques Tardy. Like Will Eisner, very cartoony style, but all of the things he draws, they're very serious themes. So this one, obviously, a war comic. Tardy is very good at doing comics set in World War I and World War II. And so Tardy is one of those authors that when you like Tardy, you really like Tardy. So it's not for everybody, but people who appreciate his art, they enjoy him very much.
Very nice.
Okay, so now what do we got here? What did this cover? I know, I forgot. This is this Ortiz? No, I think this is Ortiz. Yes. So this would be no. Can't remember the strip because Ortiz had different throughout the series, throughout this comic.
You could probably make up a name and we believe you. So.
No, but I like.
Klaus Schwab.
Yeah.
No.
He inked that cover.
No, this was inked by Vinny Coletta.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, obviously not. Okay, so more Segredes, this is issue number 10. Also, Frank Cappa comes back.
I know this from, it's been reprinted in English. Was it in Heavy Metal or Epic Illustrated, or did I get it in a graphic novel form?
Yeah, this is from Heavy Metal. This cover is by Tim White.
Yeah.
Number 12, more Segredes.
Wow.
They really did. Yeah, and this one was used in one of this cover was used in one of the albums when they collected all of the pages that were published in the magazine to publish in an album. Number 14. This is the God's War by Andreu Martin and Ta. But the cover is made by Don Lawrence. So there's Trigon Empire inside, but this cover is not about Trigon Empire. This one is Alvaro Mayor, so it was a 16th century adventure by the one I mentioned earlier with art by Breccia. And more Segredes. This one was also used in one of the albums that collected the stories.
And who's that artist again?
Vicente Segredes.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So those were the first 16 covers. I'm going to show 16 more covers when I come back. Wait, I need to show 2 more. I'm sorry. No, 18 plus 18, 36. So I can show the first 3 years. Sorry. Let me share again so I can show the last 2 here.
All right, Captain. Strange, like you get ready to go in the meantime.
Oh,
we'll look at Paulo. He's going to show us 2 more books.
Okay. Yeah, this one is Bogey. It was one of those Spanish-made series that had a crime theme.
All right.
And finally, more the Segredes, but this cover does not talk about Mercenary. It's about a different series called Sarva, which was also science adventure set in a mythical past. Okay, so now I can stop sharing. So that covers 1 year and a half of Simok.
All right, we'll go to the Captain real quick.
I think I'll start out with a little clinker, and I picked it just for you. You get it? A little clinker. And I picked it just for you. Here. This is actually a awards from Montgomery Wards. It was probably came out at Christmas time. It had all the toys in it. I just acquired this actually. We'll pull it out of the plastic bag here. Really nice shape too. Let's see if it has any toys in here. Oh, it's just, you know what? This turns out that it is just like more of an activity book. And with just the back page, it's got some toys from Montgomery Ward. The Little Clinker. Title's kind of funny. You know, back in the late 50s, I think Joe Simon went over to Harvey Comics. He had been hired by his friend Alfred Harvey. And according to his book, The Comic Book Makers, one of the titles he created, he said, was Warfront. Warfront with Dynamite Joe, but Warfront, this is the first issue of Warfront.
Cool.
Great cover.
Beautiful copy.
Yeah.
This goes all the way back to 1951. So I think he's got his timeline messed up.
Looks like a brand new book.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. From 1951.
Wow.
Looks like it came out this morning.
Yeah, that is in great shape.
But it's kind of weird because he says that this happened around 1958, but this book has been around since 1951. Here's number 2. It's got Bob Powell art inside of this.
Very good, very expressive.
The cover, I don't know who did the cover. Yeah. And let's see, I got Warfront number 35. I got to get these rebagged and boarded. I see him kicking a rifle out of the commie's hand. Here's this looks like it's some kind of got some writing on it. Now we're going to 1965, I think.
Yeah. Somewhere in there.
36. There's 39. These are seldom seen war books, Warfront from Harvey Comics. You know, you always think of Casper and stuff like that. Number 38. This is a cover attributed to Joe Simon. Number 38, but it's from 1966. So, I think he's got his timeline a little bit messed up there, but and it might have some Otto Binder stories in here. Here's number 37. This, you know what? This is a cover by Wally Wood. This cover is by Wally Wood. And this is like 1966. And, there's a story. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the Comic Book Makers, that book by Joe Simon. He relates a story in there when he was working for Harvey Comics that he was, tasked with creating a new group of adventure comics. And one of the comics that he says he created was Warfront, along with Alarming Tales, and Men in Black, and a few, 2 or 3 other titles. But he said that one day, Leon Harvey, who was like the executive director or something like that at Harvey Comics, he called in all the artists, and Wally Wood was one of the first ones to show up. And so he brings his art boards with, and he puts them on Leon's, big desk, and then Leon spreads. Leon doesn't say a word. Leon Harvey, he just takes Wally Wood's art boards and puts them, across the desk, and then puts tracing paper on top of Wally Wood's artwork. And then he takes this big red crayon and he starts scribbling on it and drawing lines and stuff like this, and Leon Harvey can't even draw stick people. And so they're looking at this in disbelief, what the hell is he doing? And he's trying to convey that he wants to bring the action towards the front and buildings a little bit more towards the back or something like that, But he doesn't say anything. He doesn't even talk to Wally Wood. And Wally Wood's just looking at this in disbelief, and he gets mad, and he takes the tracing paper and he throws it in Leon Harvey's wastebasket. And he takes his artboards and walks out. And he never came back. Weirdest thing. Was just unbelievable. He could have been a little bit more conciliatory. He could have said, Wally Wood, what do you think? I got this idea about doing some artwork, in this way, and I want to get your opinion on it. Can you tell me what you think? But he didn't say a word. He just took the stupid, tracing paper and ran over it with a red crayon. So you don't do that to one of the great artists of the time, Wally Wood. Did I show you this cover?
No.
Oh, all right. This is what issue was this? I think this is 36. Yeah, let's say. But this also is a cover by this is Wally Wood. I'm pretty sure it's Wally Wood. It's got no, wait a minute. Let me see something here. It's got a Bob Powell story. That I know. Only one of 1965. No, this is I think this is actually Joe Simon cover. They did do some drawing. Okay, good. So that's what I got in the war on the war front. I'll show you guys something else later.
All right. It's good to see Jambo in the chat.
Oh, that's cool.
So now we're going to run to Steve. How you doing, Steve?
Oh, I'm doing great. Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to do some Big Little Book action. Went to an antique store, and this dealer had tons of Big Little Books. And I was just like, wow. It was pretty much a treasure trove. So I bought 4 of them. And there was one I hadn't even heard of before. Micah, maybe you've seen it, or maybe you have it. Ghost Avenger.
No, that's awesome.
I have known nothing about this, but I love the cover and the look of the character. The spine is a little worn, but it's a great looking book. The character and everything.
Can you describe what's depicted on that spine? I couldn't make it out.
I think it looks like a bell.
Okay.
I can't tell what that is. I'm trying to focus it in. Like a bell of some sort on a wheel.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
But the character
that's cool.
is really cool. He's got a sword, which I don't know what he's going to be doing. I haven't read this yet. I haven't looked up the character, so I want to read it and find out for myself. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, the spine a little worn, but it's not too bad.
Never seen that before.
Well, it's hard to get those Big Little books in, really great high grade. I'd be happy to have it just like that.
Oh, yeah. Here's a beautiful Buzz Sawyer. We got the Roy Crane artwork in it, and it's a beautiful copy.
Oh, yeah, look at that. That's nice.
I think it's really nice.
Yeah.
Buzz Sawyer.
That guy looks kind of a little bit like an early Superman by Siegel and Schuster.
1946 on this one.
Doesn't that guy look a little bit like Siegel?
Yeah.
Yeah, with a little bit of Terry and the Pirates almost.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I spied a smiling Jack. Spine is a little worn on it, but it looked great. I love this. It's pretty darn cool. My last one I got was the biggest purchase was this Flash Gordon
Oh,
from 1940 because it says so. Donald had to put his name in it. So he got this back on September 13th, 1940. It's a little weak in the spine, but the spine is very much intact.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's just
really nice.
it's nice.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Can you show the back of that again?
Yeah.
Just the names of the other titles.
Yeah, the usual titles.
It still looks good.
Yeah, very nice.
You know, I looked up Ghost Avenger, and it turns out that Guandanaland is reprinting Big Little books now. He's calling them mini memory, and this is instead of he reprints it, I guess, in a large format. That's so weird.
That is weird.
$9 for it.
Not comic related, but I did find a nice first edition of my favorite Zane Grey novel and one of my favorite westerns of all time, Nevada, 1928, and pretty nice copy, I think.
Is that the same guy as Nevada Smith, or is that a different character?
No, different character.
Wow.
Different character. Yeah.
That's your favorite Zane Grey?
Yeah. Yep. That's my favorite book. And I got this. I did find this. We talked about it before, and I couldn't find it.
Oh, wow. I remember that.
Finally found it. My organization there.
Those eyes are awesome.
Oh yeah, I just Gray Morrow just knocked it out of the park on that.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
It's that college and everyone falling into it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
They don't make them like they used to.
No. Got Gunsmoke Western number 68.
Oh, that's one of my favorite.
Nice.
Western. Yeah. From Marvel, yeah.
Daisy BB gun ad on the back. These are ones I've decided I needed bag and board. So
nice copy too.
I think for 1962 it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Mystery in Space, which has got such a great cover. Number 52.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I love
that
it.
is neat. What number is that, Steve?
52.
52.
52. Challengers of the Unknown, number 13. How far the challengers have fallen since Kirby left the book. I'm sorry, but this is just a funny cover to me compared to what came before.
Yeah.
So that's the golden fleece, right? He's wearing. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was still a fun read, but Kirby had just left a little bit before that, and
That's what the Fantastic Four is based upon.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Texas Rangers, number 36 from 62.
Cool. Very nice.
We've got a Kid Cold Outlaw, number 119. It's a British version.
Wow.
Yeah. Neat.
And that's a Broken West from Emmy, number 2. I'm sorry, Broken Bad Men of the West, number 2. From Emmy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'll show one more book. And we got Rocky Lane Western from Fawcett, number 31. From 1951.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dead Man's Revenge. Wow.
With the scope on your BB gun, which everyone needed. All right, guys. That's it for right now. Thank you.
All right.
Pretty snazzy.
Thank you.
The Flash Gordon was awesome. And now we go to someone who a lot of short people look up to. It's none other than Eric Breen. Take it away, Eric.
That's okay. It's just gonna. Shouldn't I have some little books? First, I lead off and said, I gotta agree with Rod. You never see these anywhere.
Oh, good breed.
Unless of course you have your own time tunnel.
Oh,
I've been green twice.
Well played, sir. Well played.
That's even better. I didn't have to move. I'll have just a random assortment here. There's Action 303.
Cool.
Nothing, no phallic symbol on that cover whatsoever.
Huh, no idea.
Nope. Adventure Comics 4.
Nice. I like that series.
And 469. Random Alpha Flight.
Still John Byrne.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Liz discovers she's Talisman.
It's Amazing Adventures 17.
Cool.
Last Beast.
Yep.
Mostly reprints.
10 issues away from real value. End of the Kree Skrull War. Yeah, just give you to drink in that cover.
Yes.
Always loved that issue too. That was like one of the first exposures to characters.
I kind of wished at some point Neil Adams would have they'd have like done some kind of thing where he went back and drew the issue and republished it, but because he was supposed to do that and then missed the deadline. 250. Betty and Veronica. So, a Black Hawk where Zinda is evil. Apparently that was a recurring theme. Here's Captain America, and the villain that you can only see the top of his head turns out to be the Kingpin. But then they team up to fight the Red Skull because he may be a mob boss, but he's an American mob boss.
That's right. That's right.
Conan 64. Something everybody needs a full run of. Dazzler.
Disco Dazzler.
Let's see. Got 3 more here. Date with Debbie.
Those are cool. Walgreens.
Doctor Strange. And
cool.
80-page giant. More Secret Origins.
Yeah.
Beauty.
See how good this Comic Pro line bag makes this look? You can't even tell there's no back cover.
It's just a variant.
Yeah. The invisible variant.
There you go.
All right. Well, I recently went through every old Graphic Man episode. Somebody had to do that. And I discovered that I don't think I've ever shown a Dennis the Menace. So the best way to play golf is good defense. Dennis is illustrating there. Here's a collector's item classic number 1.
Oh, I like those boys.
Those are nice.
Yeah, those are great.
Number 3. Why show number 2 when you don't
That's
have
great. Love that red cover. They just pop on it.
Here's a cool little Jonah Hex.
Wow, that is neat.
He's going to let that Indian go ahead and take care of this guy because apparently he deserves it.
Wow.
Pretty harsh stuff. Here's a little invisible playing of the piano's House of Secrets.
He's a hands-on ghost.
And it's been a while since we've seen some Richie Rich.
Richie Rich has his own ship.
And sandwiched between Richie Rich books is Mindworm. Everybody's favorite Spider-Man villain.
Next mayor of Chicago.
That's right.
The mayor of Chicago, we call her Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
It's got a safety net there. Which we all And here's it's not much. It's good old Bob Layton, Iron Man.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Yep. To me, this is actually kind of terrifying. I mean,
that's great.
He's got to get that armor on before he falls to. And I'll rarely show Marvel Tales on here, but that's such a great cover.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's good artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a little spook for you, Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's got a coffin, a skull with a candle.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
I love those painted covers. It's just great.
And I've tried to be very eclectic tonight. Right after Ripley's Believe It or Not, you'd have to have Dynamite.
Dynamite, yeah.
Dynamite.
Nice.
With the Blue Falcon.
Yeah.
They're very cool.
And that guy looks a little bit like a Charlton character, right? The Thunder Bunny. I will show Conan, number 39. It's a good dragon. Very nice dragon cover.
It's the biggest croc I ever saw.
And here's a skull. I told you we're going to be real eclectic. All right,
8
one more.
issues for different writers, and that's why it never went anywhere.
8 or 9, you're right. Star Trek 36.
Nice.
Boy.
All right, well, that'll probably do it for this. Let's see. I guess we can go to Dr. Silverage. He's still with us, hanging in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then I'll probably have to bow out. But I saw you show an Iron Man in there, so I'm gonna play off of that. So, and if Maranya is still there in the audience, she'll get a kick out of this. First, I'll start with Tales of Suspense number 36, which has nothing to do with Iron Man other than it precedes.
Very nice.
But then we're gonna jump into Iron Man. Tales of Suspense number 41.
Cool. Love that cover, man. So much going on.
And we got number 42.
Yeah.
Number 43.
Wow, he had a nice little run there.
You gotta wonder how he was able to move around in that big old heavy armor he's got on there, you know, before they changed it.
Then pulled out number 59.
Wow.
Nice.
There you go.
He had power steering.
And then one of my favorite ones. I think this cover.
Oh, yeah. Ditko in that one, man. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And then at the end of that run, they didn't have any place to put Iron Man and Submariner. So, hey, let's team them up.
Iron Man Submariner 1. There you go.
Yep.
They don't get much love compared to the first issue for each one. And it should. I mean, it came before those number ones, you know?
Yeah. and it's a one shot. It's not like there was a whole lot of them. This
Correct.
is just one.
Yep.
Know? So, and then we got some Invincible Iron Man number 5.
Nice. Pretty good cover.
And we got the Unicorn here with number 4.
Whatever happened to him?
He walked into the water, and then and he came overpowered, and Iron Man had thrown him into the sky, and he blew up. If I remember correctly.
What the hell?
Yeah, he became real powerful, and he's gonna blow up. I think Iron Man threw him up into the sky, and he blew up in the sky. That's what I remember. I could be wrong. That's what I remember. They could have brought him back since then.
Well, if that ain't the way they wrote it, that's the way they should have.
There's number 3. There we go. Get the camera to focus with the Freak. And then number 2.
There you go.
I've been breathed again. There we go. Number 2.
Yeah. That's great.
And then number 1.
Nice.
Yes. Nice. Very cool.
So there we go.
Guess too bad Miranda got poached by our puppet master.
Oh, did
To a reading.
Oh,
So sorry she missed these.
yeah. So, but I'm gonna bow out.
All right, Doc.
This morning. So great to see you guys again. And
You too, man.
Hopefully, be able to do it again next Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
You take care.
Take
All
care,
right,
Rod.
take care,
Have a
guys.
good
Hey,
evening.
Rod.
See you, Ron.
And then there were 5. No, 6. I can't count.
Captain, how are you doing? Do you want to jump in, or are you able to wait on Grottu and then Paulo?
Oh, I can wait on Grottu.
All right, we'll go to Grottu.
If it doesn't take a half an hour.
I was looking at this Cracked put out their own monster magazine. I like this this artwork here.
Oh, yeah, that's a great cover.
And it's got Cracked style stuff, but most, some of the humor but it's also trying to be famous monsters of filmland. It's trying to be a lot of things at once, and then it's got comic art, or the cool ads, of course. But this story here, Gary Grandinetti, it's Jekyll and Hyde '69. It's real psychedelic. I just kind of like this. And of course,
Wow.
Roy Lichtenstein stole at least one painting from him. I think the guy in the jet. So I'm sure Lichtenstein made millions. Well,
Oh, yeah.
he's working for Cracked magazine.
Yep.
But it's just amazing to me, this stuff.
I never heard of that. I met that magazine. There must have been a lot of them around that one.
Oh yeah, 4 monsters only, and then they revived. Cracked was always trying to keep their keep on the pulse of what kids were into. Kind of like that. They're trying to sell 8mm films like Warren did, but I like that illustration there, where the family is just looking at this movie. It's just great. I like the Transylvanian grab bag and all these little. It's nice to see this art big. It would be cool to get posters out of it. Let's see, what else do I have here? Here's Fantasy Masterpieces number 10.
Oh, that's a good one. I need that one. That's a nice copy. That's very cool. I like that. The All Winners reprint.
Yeah, let's see, what else do I have here? Here we've been looking at Conan stuff. Here's the Atlas. This isn't an issue of Iron Jaw. It's actually called The Barbarians.
Yeah.
Iron Jaw had 2 different titles.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one you don't see as often. the barbarians.
Very cool.
Here's one of those sleazy type magazines, horror stories.
Raised from the grave.
Yeah, let's see. But yeah, this is kind of meant. Yeah, the ads in the back are real sleazy. There's like, I can't show them, but the ads in the back are like for real, exciting
Not nude,
adult
are they?
books.
Is there nudity in them? In the ad?
There was one ad that had some nudity, so I can't show that. Yeah, but this is not really aimed at kids for sure. They got nude art books and then 8-track tapes, but I'm not going to show you the ads. But yeah, look at these ads. Why be lonely? Oriental girls, English girls. But yeah, it's just a sleazy magazine.
Like the Men's Adventure magazines, they had a lot of those ads.
Yeah, that's kind of what this is. This is like like one of those Men's Adventures magazines. Look at this ad. No, not that one. Oh, wait, let me cover that up. This one, it says,
Death to all.
get rid of roaches forever with a guaranteed chain reaction. I don't want to show that bad one.
Vibrator, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I know it's just for massaging your back. Sure.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Sure kill white inside every roach. That's the most insane ad.
Wow.
It's just like, how do you sell insecticide to future serial killers? Adventures in Witchcraft with this guy looks like a game show host.
Yeah, he does.
He's apparently a PhD and an SCD, whatever that is. But it's just like terror from the mummy's eyes. So anyway, this is cool, and that this preceded the Ghost Rider. The Ghost Rider with the blazing skull, Hell Rider.
Oh, you got issue 2.
Yeah, is that rare or something?
Yeah, harder to find than the first issue.
Because I don't have the first issue, so I guess then it's easy for me to get the first one.
Yeah, 2 is harder to find.
Okay, I'm sure Guandanaland reprints this, but
yeah,
it's better to have the real thing in your hand,
Yeah, sure.
And it's just so like right on with the cycling superhero, It's like
it's a cool book, man.
Things like a bee floats like the butter. So it's it's just like it's like you're watching a early 1970s exploitation movie, just boiled down into look at this 2-page spread.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So right there. It sounds like someone is vacuuming their house in the background. I don't know, is it just
they got the volume up too high.
And of course there was Psycho.
Yeah. A great cover. Pablo Marcos.
Yeah. It's like it's a mask you can cut out. But yeah, it's all European looking wonderful art. Just this kind of stuff.
Hey, did you get your ceiling fan to go counterclockwise?
Yeah, actually, I had no idea that ceiling fans even reversed because, in Texas, people aren't really concerned about when it gets cold. It's just people want ceiling fans to make it cold all year long.
Right.
And, apparently there's a little switch on every ceiling fan that does that. I had no idea, but you were talking about the one in the upstairs. Yeah. This one's apparently spinning the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's all kinds of
cooler down. Oh, look at that, man! What was that? That looked like a.
It's like a cool. It looks like a swamp creature that nobody knows about.
It looks like a bog monster.
Yeah, let's see. What's the name of the story here? It's called a plot of dirt. Yeah, I think he's actually not a swamp creature, but a corpse. Yeah, I think he's just a skinny corpse. Yeah, these were fun, and there's Nightmare.
I get corpses and swamp monsters mixed up all the time.
Yeah, well, it just depends on where they what type of dirt they come out of.
Hey, Jambo got some revenge here. All right.
Yeah, good going, Jambo.
There's a great.
Oh yeah,
yeah, nice collection of those.
Oh, this is what I've been buying all my life. I just love this stuff.
They're so expensive now.
Are they starting to be?
Oh yeah, $40-$50 a pop.
Oh, wow. Well, they've always been kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my actual childhood copy. I remember. Okay, December 1970. This was one of the first publications I bought. Cartoons, and I was in Walmart. I was actually wandering around. I think I was running the camera. It's on my channel. I was in Walmart, and I look, and there's a cartoons with the same logo on the newsstand. This hadn't been published since probably about 1980 or early 80s, and someone has started cartoons again. It was never really about them. I mean, well, what am I saying? Yeah, it was amazing. It just it wasn't mad or cracked or something, but let's see, what do we got here? I think was this a Jack Kirby deal? Spirit World?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Jack Kirby. Yeah.
The world will end in 1983. It probably did, and we just are starting to realize it. And this was, I think, my favorite cover of Psycho. Even though some of the faces are a little bit wonky, this was a spectacular image on the newsstand when I was I don't know.
Yeah.
This would have been the early beginning of third grade for me. I remember seeing this in the Army Base Exchange in San Antonio. What else? There's some more of those eerie publications. Apparently was sold for 30 cents at one time at some garage sale.
I love that sleazy stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Let's see. This yeah, it's like the art outside of a dark ride at a sleazy carnival. Yeah, this one apparently sold for 30 cents, and then I have one that doesn't have 30 cents on it. And then a few more here. This is from June of '77. And you could get shirts inside, eerie shirts, creepy. You could get. But yeah, this is kind of what these were like. I remember owning this one, Weird Vampire Tales. For some reason they've got another planet. Probably this was in a spaceship, so that means this is post Star Wars. Yeah, January '81, because Star Wars started to affect everybody. And then this is the Atlas version of these, which was just had a very disturbing, weird cover. As a kid, I didn't know how to pronounce that word. I think I said macabre or something like that. Anyway, that's well, let's look inside this, because Atlas always had great ads. And their art's going to be a little bit different than I don't know. That kind of looks like the same European artist. Bruce Lee ad. So it dates it the time period. Article about. I always love this ad. I think they ran it in the color comics too. It's Atlas
Oh,
Comics.
yeah.
Heroes. They were trying, which it's like they're. What struck me is about this, and I don't know who the artist is that drew this. It's a great illustration, but all the heroes there are very thin, kind of like Peter Parker.
I think it's Ernie Cologne.
Okay, but it's
Ernie
like,
Cologne.
but yeah, everybody. Well, maybe the guy from Planet of the Vampires is a little bit more muscular, but mostly they're a little bit more on the thin side than most superheroes. I remember that, thinking that was a little bit different. And they sold shortened versions of the Planet of the Apes movies and all that. It's like they had I felt like when I got magazines like this that they were just somehow really tapped into what I really liked with Planet of the Apes, and then there would be ads for the Mego action figures, which we called Mego dolls. Or as my mother-in-law, when she packed boxes when we were moving, she'd write "delicate dolls." And it really takes the piss out of you if you think, well, these are superhero action figures. No, they're delicate dolls. Oh shit! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. Anyway, so all right.
Joining us is Spinner Rack. How are you doing, Spinner?
Hi, guys.
Hey, Dave.
How you doing, Dave?
Good evening.
It's good to see him. We highlighted you earlier, Spinner. You were.
Yeah, I found Jambo.
I found Jambo.
He's become very skinny, though.
Yeah.
Just all bones.
Yeah, it's like he's not even here today. So, all right, let's see what Paulo has cooking for us.
So another year and a half of Simok. Issue number 19, cover featuring Sarvan, a sort of barbarian science fiction fantasy world. The other cover that went out to this was done by Segrelles. This one is done by the actual artist, Jordi Bernet. Jordi Bernet, better known for creating the gangster series Torpedo 1936, alongside writer Sanchez Abuli. Well, he didn't really create it. He came on board with the third episode because the first two were actually drawn by Alex Toth for the European market.
Does that cover story? Does that cover picture have a story inside, or is that?
Yes, this one. Yeah, this one does. So yes, is that episodes before, but this is the first time that it appears on the cover, drawn by the actual artist.
Was it ever brought over to the United States, that strip, as far as you know?
Not this one. I don't think so. Maybe in heavy metal.
That's a pretty spectacular image. The more you look at that bird she's on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's also a call out to the beginning of the science fiction strip Storm by Don Lawrence, which will appear on the cover in a future issue. And here it is for number 20. This is Storm by Don Lawrence. I used to have this comic in European format when I was a kid. A guy got stuck in a space mission on Jupiter, and then he faints, and when he wakes up, he goes back to Earth, and everything has changed. The oceans aren't there anymore. Lawrence created the strip, but he always had different writers in doing the writing. This one was done by Saul Dunn, which was an English pen name for a Dutch writer, and this was just amazing. This is Storm after coming out from his ship and going down to what the world actually is. This cover does not have anything to do with any story inside.
Yeah, who cares?
Exactly. Issue number 22. This introduces a new series by Alfonso Font, Prisoner of the Stars. Alfonso Font is now more of an indie style artist. So yeah, 40 years after doing this, so it's a bit like David Mazzucchelli, who nowadays does is better known for Asterios Polyp or is Paul Auster adaptations and is not recognizable at all as the guy who did Batman Year One and Daredevil.
Mhm.
So it's the same situation with Alfonso Font. It does not draw like this anymore.
Hmm.
Okay. War Gods by no this no yeah this is War Gods art by Ta. He just writes THA Ta. That's how he signs. This cover is by Achilleos. I can't remember exactly what the story is about, but it's a pretty good cover. It's funny because Achilleos didn't have a strip before this one, but they gave him the cover right away. Issue number 25, the Mercenaries back.
That's like a photograph.
Almost, yeah, but it's
Wow.
Segre, but it isn't. It's Segredes again.
That's amazing.
Are the interiors all color or black and white in this?
By this stage, more than half of the stories will be in color. When it began, there was one story in color. Mostly were black and white. There are a few are still in black. For example, this calls out Frank Capra on the cover. So Frank Capra is in black and white. The mercenary. There was a point in Segredes' career when he stopped painting in oil because he figured out how to draw on the computer and make it look like an oil painting. This one, what was this one? I think this was no. Yeah, this was War Gods, but this is a Team White cover, so it's meant to be generic. Number 27. This more Alfonso Font. Prisoner of the Stars. It's kind of funny because this looks like it's an adventure in the desert, but it's in outer space. Frank Capra by Manfred Sommer. So Sommer did black and white art for this comic, but there was a previous cover drawn in a normal style, covered in a normal style, but because there were so many painted covers, they decided to paint this one, and so it's not typical Manfred Sommer, and it looks pretty dynamic, which is not normal for him. Number 29, more Mercenary.
Wow, that's cool.
Number 30, this is Sarvan.
Hey, Paulo, can you go back to that skull?
Yep.
I was just wondering how Gil Kane would have done. Never mind. Go ahead.
Droll.
Number 31.
Oh, that's neat.
This is not a generic cover, so there's no story about this inside. It's kind of meant to be Sarvan, but it isn't because she doesn't have the red hair color.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the monster kind of reminds me of Metal Zoic, which was a 2000 AD strip that was published in the US as a graphic novel by DC. This is Hombre by. This is Hombre by Jose Ortiz. This cover not very well drawn. There's looks like it's a composite so they didn't draw specifically for the cover. But we have Mercenary and The Fisherman by Rotundo and Ricardo Barreiro. This one is O'Brien, an adventure strip with art by Tony Deo. Number 35. So first time that they have a Luis Arroyo cover. There are a bunch of heavy metal covers by Luis Arroyo. I think the guy used to draw and paint this stuff, and then he would sell it, and it doesn't matter what it was, but somebody would buy it. If it wasn't a comic magazine, it was some kind of girly magazine, or it would be for an album for a music album cover, or even a video game cover, and the last one I have here. This one introduces La Belette by Didier Comès. So it's a French comic.
It's amazing the different styles of art. You know, you have painted covers, pencils.
Yeah. But even in the painted covers, you can see some of the guys are more cartoony. That's very nice. Yeah, if you can. If you can buy it, I suppose that each piece is going to go for a few thousand. Or a few thousand. There was no English version of CMOC, regrettably. The majority of the strips were never available in English. Which, yeah, the stuff. So the stuff that Selecciones Ilustradas did for the U.S. market, it appeared in 1984. But I kind of like the even with the painted covers, there are different styles there. Not only artistic styles, but the type of inks that they use, and colors that they make. So a lot to choose from.
When they were reprinted in 1980 in the 1984 Warren magazine, they sleazed them up a lot.
Oh yeah.
1984 was so far gone sleazy that it was hard to take. And it was kind of like watching what was that Western show where they said the F word 40 times in every sentence? Yeah, to me, that's what 1984 and 1994 were like. They just pushed everything to the point where it was like you feel like you're reading a bathroom wall with your feet.
Yeah, because here in CMOC, when they have things which are erotic in nature, they're either in good taste or they're appropriate for the type of story, just like in heavy metal. What they did in 1984, even in Spain, it was sleazier, but what they did for publication in the United States, it's like you have porn, but you turn it into hardcore.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's what James Warren thought heavy metal was. I don't know.
Because you have all these painted covers, and then there's painted art inside as well. And Warren's was still doing black and white in the 80s. So I suppose to him, yeah.
I mean, there would be beautiful artwork, but then it's just like, it's so like there was a Richard Corbin cover on 84 or 94 where this woman is like a robot fighter, and she has this big mallet, and she's standing on a mountain of all these robots, and there's like a dead Robbie the robot, and I think all the different robots from different movies are all smashed under her, and it's just a beautiful airbrushed Richard Corbin cover. But then inside it's like all this skeevy stuff, sleazy.
Meyer mentioned Rank Xerox that was published in an Italian comic, Animal. That one was, and it's unapologetically sleazy, but you can tell that there's a story there.
Yeah.
So you can't do sleazy with quality if you want.
Yeah, I like sleazy, man. Shit.
But when there's no story, it starts to feel a little like wrong. I don't know. It's hard for me to explain why that magazine. Maybe it was the age I was when it came. There's something about it that it pushed its. I mean, I read National Lampoon all the time, but something about that magazine, it's just like went too far.
I suppose that the best way I can describe it is James Warren was trying too hard. And it wasn't even his fault. I think it was the editor. Who was the editor at the time? Was it already Bill Dubay?
Maybe.
Yeah, I can't remember. But I think that's what they were doing. They were trying too hard. There was no need to do that. All right. So I hope you enjoyed going through Spanish comics. I'm going to see what I'm going to do next week. Maybe I'm going to try and find go back to some French editions of US comics for next week. So let's see what I can do. All right. Okay.
We'll see you, Paulo.
Thanks, Paulo.
Good night, everyone.
Paulo, would you hang on just for a second?
Mm-hmm.
wanted to show you something. A friend of mine gave this comic book to me. It's obviously Silver Surfer number 50. Is that what, German maybe? Or
Looks German, yes.
Yeah.
German or no. Yeah, no, it's German.
So
no, wait a
I've
second.
been meaning to show this to you.
Let me try and read that.
What about Dutch?
No, that's Dutch. That's Dutch.
Is that Dutch? Okay.
Yep, that's Dutch.
Yeah, well, anyway, I've been meaning to show it to you, and I generally come on late, so.
All right, we'll see you later, Paulo. We'll go to Captain in the meantime.
Good night, Paulo.
Oh, well, all right. I'll go back to Harvey, and with the blast off.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
1965. It's Jack Kirby on the cover, and Al Williamson on the inks.
Wow.
And I got another one. I got these a long time ago. I gobbled them up at the prices that I was able to get them for.
Yeah.
Joe Simon might have been involved in the cover, but this is a reader copy right here. There's Al Williamson stories in there, and Angelo Torres, who worked over at EC. Here's Captain 3D. What did I write here? This is from 1953. Number 1 from 1953.
Very nice.
Nice cover.
Still have the glasses in it?
I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to get it out.
I'm curious now. It has to have the cover in it because I got it all. I mean, it has to have the. It's got the glass.
Oh, cool.
This is like almost shit off the newsstand, you know.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Beautiful copy. Yeah, absolutely.
What the hell are the glasses? They better be here. Oh. Surely they must. Oh.
There they are.
There you go.
Cool.
Very nice.
Then let's see what else I got here. I got a reader copy.
That was good. Good one,
blaming yourself.
What happened?
Well, if you can read his comment, Captain.
She jumps right off the page. 3D Dolly.
Oh, cool.
She sure does.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah.
These are all from Harvey Comics. There's a True 3D number 2. And number 1 of 1953.
Wow.
Bob Powell. Bob Powell. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, the Bee-Man.
Classic.
Double Dare Adventures.
Whatever Dare Adventures.
I think the cover is by Joe Simon.
B-Man.
What else do I got here? Oh shit! This is and I got another copy here. I forgot these are square bound. Pretty nice copy too. I gotta rebag and board all these puppies here. Here's B-Man number 1. With the Magic Master.
Here you go, Captain.
All right, there he goes.
Green.
Holy crap, how many of these do I got? B-Man number 1. Another one. You know, it's got Joe Simon on the cover, and then there's something in here that Jim Steranko wrote, a magic story or something like that. Because he used to be a magician, Jim Steranko. Oh yeah, Jigsaw, a big hero, Jigsaw.
Oh yeah.
Number 2. I don't know what. I got 3 more copies of that. The stories in here by Otto Binder, and I think the cover's by Joe Simon. And here's number 1. These this is one of the titles that Joe Simon said he created for Harvey. Race to the Moon. This is number 1. Race for the Moon, excuse me. But 1958. This is number 3.
Oh, that's a great cover.
Kirby cover. Jack Kirby on the cover. And I think it might be Al Williamson on the inks. And then from there, I got copies that are from Britain.
Oh, that's neat.
Wow.
That's a Charlton cover.
You know, this actually reprints, my note on the back said actually reprints World of Fantasy number 1 from 1956. But I wanted to pick it up because it was the same title in the series. Yeah.
That's neat.
And I have that. I have World of Fantasy number 1. And then this is number 5. And
that's from Strange Worlds or something like that.
That is Strange Worlds number 1 from 1958.
Right.
I have that too. I think I showed it before.
Oh, that's cool.
Stories.
I put them next to each other. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Anyway, I thought that was interesting. And this is the British edition of that. You know, that's nice and it's pretty thick. It's probably in black. I think it's in black and white. Yeah, it would have to be.
Did it come out the same year or is it later?
Well, it's reprint, so it had to be later than the other one. You know, there's no. They don't even give you a year in this.
Oh wow.
But pretty thick.
That's pretty neat.
I wonder why that is. I wonder if they had in the back for Classics Illustrated.
My goodness. It's all over the place.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Look at it. There's the indicia. There's nothing to it. The indicia.
Interesting.
So that's it for now.
Oh, that's cool. Are you able to hang around and see Steve and there? Or...
I did see Steve.
Well, I know, but he's up again. So.
I was over at his house yesterday.
All right. Well, Steve, you're up.
All right. We're going to continue with this virtual copy of Funny Book Fun. The Lone Ranger number 136 from 1960.
Very cool.
Gunsmoke Western number 42. I think 57. Yeah, 1957.
Oh, that's my favorite Western series from Marvel's Gunsmoke.
Oh, that's cool. I got some quick draw McGraw action, 4-color, 1040.
Yeah, I used to love that cartoon as a kid.
Yeah. Baba Louie.
Yeah, Baba Louie, you all right? All right.
1960.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of showcase going on here. Number 44 with Tommy Tomorrow.
Nice.
Charlton action here with the Texas Rangers in action. Number 37 from 63. I don't know who did this cover, but the brushwork on this horse is amazing. Wish I would have known. Look at the horse, the brushwork on the horse, on his legs and stuff. Pretty nice. Especially with Charlton at this time frame.
You guys noticed how many yellow covers we've seen tonight? I don't think anyone does that anymore. If you fast forward through this episode, you'll see just about everybody showing yellow covers. Oh, there's
a reprint.
Now I'm looking around. I'm looking around to see if I have any yellow to show.
My Greatest Adventure number 57.
We should have color themes.
Yeah.
It's the red episode. It's the blue episode. Purple.
Yeah. Next week is Pink Paisley.
Count me out.
I think I'll be absent.
Lash LaRue action going on.
Lash LaRue. You know, I see him all the time in comics, and I never saw an episode of it. That was a TV series, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's a movie guy too. Yeah. Fist Gun Heroes number.
Some of these Western guys, even for kids in the 50s, they were so far back, like Tom Mix. I mean, wasn't he from the silent movie days?
Yeah,
they were old-fashioned even in the 50s for these kids.
Yeah, Tom Mix was killed in 1940.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Boston was still using him up until the 50s as their spokesperson. You know, he was killed in a car crash. His trunk of his Western gear, he hit something and it came up and hit him in the head and killed him.
I guess the thing about old Westerns is they don't date themselves because you don't see cars in the background. It's like it could be a Western from 1935 or 1955. It still kind of looks the same.
Yep.
Except for Gene Autry, he had Jeeps in his.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. We got Scary Tales 29. This is the red letter issue because it's an all Tom Sutton issue. Whole story, which is unusual for Charlton to have a one-story horror title. They usually were anthologies, but Tom Sutton did the whole thing.
What is that name? What's the name of it?
Scary Tales number 29.
Never seen that in my life.
No.
Yeah, booklet by Tom Sutton.
Well, it's later on. It's in the 50-cent era when they realized that certain artists could sell.
Yeah.
They're trying to market it to collectors.
This was a reprint, too. I think this came out even earlier in the 70s, and they reprinted it here.
Okay.
And last but not least, this is a great cover. This is Ghostly Tales, Attack of the Phantom. Nice Pat Boyette.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice cover on this, I think.
Phantom.
Yeah. And one more will go to somebody else. This is a nice perspective on submarine attack number 52, I think. Yeah, from 1965. I think a pretty cool perspective.
Yes.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, we'll go to Spinner Rack next if you're ready.
So you know, I was drinking cream soda, not beer. Just so you know.
All right. Good clarification.
All right, so I posted a video over the weekend, and so some of you have seen this, but you've seen I collect a little bit of original art, and I have several Superman covers. I've got a Batman page, and so I've been looking for the third part of that triangle, that trinity of Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
And so this just came out. This is a new comic book. The art is by Gary Frank, but here is the
no way
original.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! It's
well done. Very nice.
And
that's a nice print. I like that print.
You know, first of all, look at, I mean, her portrait is just beautiful.
Yeah, it's got a lot of detail. Black and white, so much detail.
And I like the way she seems pensive almost. Somebody commented, it might have been lead paint, that she oozed confidence or something to that extent. You can see that she's been kind of cut up. This wasn't an easy fight for her.
Battle.
And we'll kind of look. There's Medusa's head.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there's just cool little things like look at one of the snakes is kind of wrapped around her wrist there.
That's amazing. Well done. Congrats.
A lot of blood there on the knife. And then there's some little creatures you can see in the background there. I said in the video that after watching that fight, they probably don't want to have anything to do with Wonder Woman.
That's amazing.
So yeah, so let me get the so
I just dropped something.
Anyway, so there's my latest acquisition.
Very good. Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Okay.
Beautiful. That really is beautiful. What'd you pay for?
Off with one slab. Grottu, you can avert your eyes in shame if you want. So this is the second appearance of JLA.
That's very nice.
And, you know, I really like this cover a lot better than the prior issue. I think this cover is much, much better.
Yeah.
So. And then just a whole bunch of oddball stuff. Let's see. This is Black Hawk 189 from 1963, a Dick Dillon cover.
Cool.
I think I mentioned to you, I've been kind of picking these up as I can off of eBay. I mean, they're just so cheap compared to the Marvels and what have you of the same time period. This is Mystery in Space, issue 102.
Great series.
Yeah.
Good robots.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the earlier issues of this are kind of pricey. Here's a copy of Superboy that I picked up.
Wow.
The reason I got it, I don't really collect Superboy, but I just thought with the witch there would be a good Halloween to put in the spinner racks at Halloween time.
Very nice.
I got this at my local comic book store. And then moving into Western, this is Wild Bill Hickok issue number 2 from 1949.
Very cool.
Man.
Love the logo.
Like a pulp cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, isn't it though?
That is going to be the largest W we've ever seen on
Here's another Western from 1949. And the artist was Maura Lawrence. This is issue number 24.
Cool. Nice white cover. Jeez.
And you can see, you know, the wanted posters there for the two guys riding into
Wow.
town.
That guy jumping on the barrel, he's going to be easy to find.
This is Unknown Worlds #1, 1960. Kurt Schaffenberger cover. It kind of had that little Western influence in there. So.
Mm-hmm. Nice train cover.
Yeah, the train cover to boot.
Yeah, I love those ACG books.
And then moving back into Black Hawk, this is from 1962. Let's see, issue 177, and yet another Dick Dillon cover.
Minutes in the Alien Earthling. Wow.
And here's a oddball Dial H.
Oh yeah, that's fun stuff.
It was a fun book.
Yeah, very much so.
This was issue 157 from 1966.
Dang, it looks like it's brand new. Jeez.
And that's about half of my stack, so I can let you guys move on to somebody else.
All right. Well, I'm going to go over to Eric.
I got to see some of his stuff before I leave.
I'm glad this isn't going to be the closer, because this I'm almost out of Golden Age bags. So
let's see you bring some of that stuff there, Eric.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
So yeah, I start with a Green Lantern, but
nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I said, but there's only a couple of the older ones because I don't want to run out, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get more of them. So the rest of these after this are going to be more the 70s and early 80s. There's a Hulk annual.
Cool.
And the issue before the one that's worth money. Because of course it is.
What is the next one? Rocket Raccoon or something?
No, it's the first She-Hulk team up.
Oh.
It's not as expensive as the Rocket Raccoon, but it is $80.
Wow.
There's 30. Invaders meet Frankenstein.
Yeah, those are cool.
And if that's not enough, it's where Thor is recruited by Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
The Asgardians are easy to dupe. John Carter, Warlord of Mars.
Oh, nice.
And if it isn't enough to have him doing the cover, he's doing the insides too. That's an embarrassment of riches. There's I think the last Englehart Justice League. Marvel presents with the Guardians. Marvel Tales.
One of the drug issues.
And another Marvel Tales.
Cool.
And keeping the drug theme, here's Team Up Annual number 6. Because every Cloak and Dagger story is about drugs.
Oh, yeah.
So Marvel Triple Action.
How much did they edit in those 70s reprints? Like a few panels or a page, or
Sometimes nothing.
okay?
If the page count was lower by then, I guess they would have to edit out a couple panels, but I never really noticed. Here's New Mutants numero uno.
Nice.
I know, Jambo. I was on him about that again today. There's, at least we're not going to see that hideous Overappreciation Society PSA again?
Mhm.
Or are we?
I have it at the ready if need be.
Of course you do. So, close out with a couple Plastic Mans. 16
It's a nice cover.
and 17.
Nice.
And we now return to the drool-worthy portion of the program.
And I'm going to let him down. So I think Steve showed a nice elephant attacking somebody earlier. So here's Tono and Kono, the Jungle Twins. Make sure you keep them separate. And one more of that. I don't know if anyone else has anything else to show before we go back to Spinner. He might be closing us out tonight. But did anybody want to add anything before we?
The only thing I want to add, I did not know that Ditko drew for ACG. Did anyone know that?
He did some stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was just reading one earlier this afternoon, and it was a Ditko story, and it blew me away. It was very, very good. But I never knew that other stuff I read about Ditko. I never knew he did anything for ACG. I was very shocked. That's one thing I want to bring up.
I got something I just realized during tonight's episode. I can show you real quick.
All right.
The Grand Tree Lawrence 1966 Marvel superheroes cartoons. Everyone knows the theme songs. The guy that composed those songs was named Jacques Urbant or Jack, because he was Canadian. Depends on how. Sometimes they'll say Jack or Jacques. Anyway, he went in to audition and Stanley says, "Do you know these characters?" And so he quickly went out and bought some comics and learned about them, and then came up with these amazing jingles, theme songs that have been stuck in our head all our lives, right? So there's a PBS interview with him on YouTube that's real easy to find, and he and someone, maybe his nephew, at the piano, he sings all the songs. It's really interesting. But he said, he was explaining the Hulk theme song, and at one point in the theme, there's a New York Betty Boop sounding woman singing, "He's no monster clown. Who is as lovable as I just figured, I always tried to interpret those lyrics that she's saying. He's no monster, and then calling you a clown for thinking he's a monster. He's no monster, comma, clown. But he was explaining, he was saying, well, the Hulk was often depicted as a clown, and which is not true. But he didn't know because he only looked at one comic. So he was saying he's no monster clown. And now I realize what comic he bought was, he picked this up, Marvel Tales #2, because it's 1965 and it would have existed, and it reprints this. This is why he looked at that panel and said, "Oh, he's no monster because he's a clown in this," and that's why that theme song.
Wow!
So I just made that realization because the time, it's perfectly timed, and it would have been something
Makes sense.
because it has a bunch of heroes, and he could have. So anyway, that's
Very cool.
just a little aha moment. Like,
That's nice.
My mom used to, sing the Hulk theme in the house when we were kids. she loved the line when it goes, "Ain't he unglamorous?"
Yeah.
Yeah, but he had to have something to rhyme with gamma rays.
Yeah.
So ain't he
Glamour
rays?
Yeah.
It's just
Amazingly, my mom butchered lyrics. I mean, you ever seen the book where they show how people butcher song lyrics? They must have followed my mom around for a couple of years to get the inspiration. And she actually got the words right to the Hulk theme of all things.
It's like the Creedence Clearwater song.
Oh yeah, she was going to the bathroom.
There's
on
a
the
bathroom
right.
on
Absolutely.
the right.
Freedom Shuffle by Boss Gags. Yeah, she's.
All right, Spinner.
Oh, I gotta bow out, man. I have to go to work. I have to work all day at my other house. So.
All right, Hans. Good night, buddy.
Yeah,
Good night.
take care, guys.
No problem.
Well,
See ya.
probably see you next week.
Okie doke.
All right, Hans.
All right. Well, it won't take long. I've got a pretty short stack here. We'll start off with some Strange Tales 145.
Man, that's a beautiful book. Yeah.
Nice 12 center. Let's see, another Strange Tales 143.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite covers. Love that.
Yet another Strange Tales with the Ever Loving Thing.
Nice.
This is issue 132. I really like the Thing. He's
Yeah, he's my favorite FF.
yeah. Moving to Doctor Strange, number 6.
There you go.
With the Bruner cover.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
That'd be a good Halloween cover.
What a minute. Great poster.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to put this in my Halloween boxes. And then back to Black Hawk. This is 191, 1963. Yet another Dick Dillon cover.
The Molecule Man.
Interesting.
He doesn't seem real threatening to me. I don't know if I'd be too worried about him until he swallowed me up, of course. This is a Black Hawk 188. Yet another Dick Dillon cover.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's neat.
Petrified Giant. And we'll end finally with another 192 Black Hawk 1964, and of course,
hey.
All right, that's all I've got, guys.
Outstanding. Well, guys, I think this has been a great eclectic show. I think we've seen.
Oh, yeah.
As they were saying in the comments earlier, where else are you going to see all this variety? More variety here than the Ed Sullivan Show. And I appreciate all these guests. They come here and they give up their time, and they make this show quite a success. And everybody in the chat, it's so great to have you guys here. And so on that note, we'll end shortly. Unless anyone has an announcement, any big plans coming up or anything.
No,
just business as usual.
Yep.
If you get a chance, go see Spinner Rack's latest video where he probably does a better job holding up that Wonder Woman illustration he did. Just outstanding. Looks better than the comic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I used my good camera when I shot that. So.
So it's really worth the look. So, well, with that being said, hope you all enjoyed these last 2 hours. It's been great. And we will see you next time at the same Bat channel. And hopefully we'll have some more fossils join us. So happy drawing.
Good night, kids.
Take care.
Everybody.